My fellow Sierra Leoneans, my name is Peter Thomas. I'm very happy today for bringing you this episode on Dr. Kandeh K Yumkella as promised. But before I start, I want to challenge you for think about something. I want to make you think about Sierra Leone as your personal company. Now your company belong to you. You dey look for somebody, one person, who will become the chief executive officer, the CEO, for run this company for you for 5 years. Whether this person succeed or fail, it depends on the choices the way you will make for select this person. And there are so many applicants then. So consider the presidential candidates then for this election, March 7, 2018, as applicants. Consider yourself as the owner of the company. So you try for employ one of the applicants in the for run them. What are the things the way you go look for? As somebody who don't manage a lot of people, they don't work as a manager at different companies. I get my own company. These are the things the way I look for employ somebody. And I believe a lot of people will do the same thing. You go look for the person in educational background, in experience, the award they don't get, in conduct, and values the way this person get. For see whether they go align with your vision and mission of the company where they cost alone. So I want to measure Dr. Kandeh Yumkella on those bases. So make we look at the background on the educational background. From 1982 to 1994, Dr. Kandeh Yumkella acquired he get 3 degrees we get within that time, within 12 years. From 1982, he graduated from with a bachelor's degree in general agriculture from Jala University in Salone. 1996, he graduated with agriculture. He graduated a master's degree in agriculture and economics at Cornell University in the United States. So you get a master's degree in the United States. You also get a PhD in 1991 from the University of Illinois. He graduates with a PhD in agricultural economics. So you see, I say consistent. Economics and agriculture, you don't graduate, you get undergraduate, you get master's degree, you get a doctorate degree in the same discipline. So these then qualification, educational qualifications then this. Make we go through to now in career. What thing this man don't do, which kind of work we don't do? Where you go look at as the employer of Sierra Leone company. What not the thing the way this man don't do. And I want to go through a few things. I just don't look at a 30-year lifespan, a 30-year span of career. There's so many things the way the man don't do. I look at just for 30 years, which he don't do within the 30 years then. So the first thing we do is 1987 through to 1986. Dr. Kandeh Yumkella worked na various posting na the Illinois University na United States, Michigan State University. He worked na different as an academic academic post them we held at the university, different post them. So that means he lecture at university, he hold positions, they will say they draw curriculum and work with other university academics for put things then together for the university, for let the university operate properly. So 1986 to 1996, that's 10 years he worked in that university. In 1996, they named Dr. Kandeh Yumkella as the special advisor to the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, UNIDO. They named as the special advisor to the Director General, 96. 96 to 2000, this same Kandeh Yumkella served as the UNIDO Director of Africa and least developed countries. So he served that, the director. In 2000 in year 2000 and 2003, this same Kandeh Yumkella he became the UNIDO representative and director of Regional Industrial Development Center in Nigeria. In 2003 from 2003 to 2005, Dr. Kandeh Yumkella he been served as a senior advisor to the UNIDO Director General. That man the name be named Carlos Alfredo at the time. So for 2 years. So you see in track record within UNIDO. In 2005, Dr. Kandeh Yumkella then be named as the senior advisor. 2005, sorry, be named as the Director General of UNIDO. So from advisory role, from special representative, it become the Director General of the United Nations Industrial Development Organization. So 2005, now he attained that position. In 2008, Dr. Kandeh K appoint him as the United Nations Chief Energy Officer by the present United Nations, the past United Nations Secretary General, Ban Ki-moon. So these are the things the way this man don't do in career. Another thing we do, job we do as in career is that in 2008, Yumkella become the active member of the United Nations Group, Development Group, a group devoted to determining and coordinating the United Nations top global development priorities. This now the group within the day in charge of all the development, important development projects in the entire world. Even they part of them. So in September 2011, Dr. Yumkella they were appointed the UN Secretary General appoints Dr. Yumkella in 2011 as the Secretary General in co-chair in high-level group on sustainable energy for all. So this man don't really get extensive background. In 2012, Yumkella been continuing to lead the high-level group for all energy for the whole world. In September 2012, Dr. Yumkella then be appointed as the Secretary General Ban Ki-moon be appoint Dr. Yumkella as the representative for sustainable energy for all initiatives. But not forgetting experience as well. In 1994, they be appointed as Salon as which didn't be appointed in 1994. Here we go. Yeah. 94. In being the Minister of Trade, Industry and State Enterprise in Sierra Leone. So a whole lot position from 94 to 95 for 1 year. So this is not Dr. Yumkella in career background. Now make we go to the awards and achievements the way this man will receive. Okay. This man, he don't receive so many awards. But what I do, I just look at 10 years time frame of thing the way to achieve. Because if I say I go over everything, 10 minutes video no go do. I would need to get an hour video for talk about this man in education, in career background, in awards and achievements. It will pass 1 hour, honestly. So I just don't look at 10-year time frame, where I don't look at on this one. So and I put out 10 items then from that 10 years, the major items then. In awards and achievement, in June 2006, Dr. Yumkella received the Prix de la Foundation Award for a global leadership development. It was presented, this prize, then presented, and this award, then presented to the possible president at Prince Albert of Monaco. In 2008, he received another award for Champion of Youth Award, in Quebec, Canada. In 2008, Dr. Yumkella also received a honorary degree in recognition of his public services internationally. In Shanghai, the Shanghai Institute been named Dr. Yumkella as the honorary distinguished visiting professor. So not only now Africa or Europe, but even Asia recognized this man. In March 2011, Dr. Yumkella then be awarded the Doctor of Science, honors, by the university in the Jala University of Sierra Leone. So na Salon be honoram. So in essence, he get 2 doctorates, double. In 2012, Dr. Yumkella then be awarded the United Nations Association's Global Leadership, na South Cooperation Visionary Award. In 2012, Yumkella then be awarded a honorary professorship at the Mongolian University of Science and Technology, in Mongolia. So imagine. In 2013, Yumkella received Energy Efficiency Visionary Award for commitment to finding sustainable energy sources through investment, education, and modernization. If I said I explain all of this, it will take too long, but I want to make you just reflect on the thing because very important for determining whether you are employing a Salon for run the company, Salon as a country. In April 7, 2013, Dr. Yumkella also get the they now be the recipient of Lifetime Achievement Award. In 2013, Dr. Yumkella then be received a Distinguished African American Institute alumni. In the alumni, the award they will receive. And this is not the thing that the world leaders them. This is not president from all over the world where they describe them, the keynote speakers. They say Dr. Yumkella na Sierra Leone's and to the extent Africa's most distinguished sons. The first African director of the United Nations Industrial Development Organization. He brings a world-class education, remarkable commitment to less fortunate people. He has deep insight into world affairs and mature leadership abilities to critical issues. These are some two we need in Sierra Leone overly. He firmly believes that energy poverty and income poverty are linked. What does this mean? This is a concept is so broad. I know we will explain that inside this video. But what this means is that the poverty we created as a result of lack of energy, and the poverty we created as a result of lack of money, they are linked. They link to each other. And now for explain this, I know we will explain them, but I don't read a lot about that. It's a concept we stand for, now a signature concept we don't present to the world, and the world don't accept him. He is truly a world leader. So this man, he did in the same category as President Obama, President Clinton, Ban Ki-moon, President Nelson Mandela. Now the same category, they become a world leader. Now people only look. Russian President Vladimir Putin and others. Now the same category then they, because they're all world leaders. Now so the world leaders then describe this man. This is not me. Now, what did Yumkella don't do for Saloon? Because he can be world leader, do everything everywhere, but what has he done for Sierra Leone? So I want to go over a few things the way don't do. But there's a very big misconception about what the man don't do for Saloon and what he do in a role as the boss of UNIDO. Remember, we've been in a UNIDO. He was employed by the United Nations. He was an employee. So everything we do under UNIDO, not inside money, not in personal pocket the money come out. Now, from the United Nations, money where people in the world and other people in the world, the countries, and they contribute to the United Nations, now use for doing anything. So, not to in money, do not confuse it. All anything I mentioned, now you need to do and bet under in leadership. Not to in money, it come out. Not in pocket, it come out. So, don't confuse it. You know, now a project where you don't inspire for make it happen, but not to in fund them. Okay? So, under in leadership, as the Director General of the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, UNIDO, the construction of 3 multi-million-dollar hydroelectric dams in Charlotte, within near Freetown, in Moyamba, and Bankasoka, within a Port Local. The Bankasoka, make I tell you, na China, na actually put all the money we concerned. Yumkella enrolled, na it being be organized the engineer them for go check the Saloon for find out whether the hydroelectric will actually benefit the Port Local district or not. So they may go investigate and find out, say yes, it was possible, it was viable. Then China sponsored the whole thing. All the money from China come out, not from Yumkella and not from UNIDO. The establishment of $1.5 million fishery and maritime training center, along with 14 scholarships. They offer 14 scholarships with 14 lucky Sierra Leoneans who they sent to Russia. They studied and come back, and now they operate this maritime institute, this fishery maritime institute now in a Saloon. 1.5 million was spent by UNIDO. Establishment of growth centers in various parts of Sierra Leone, where they offer building opportunities in construction and material production, and skills building, blacksmithry, tailoring, mansuring, local food production such as cassava, juice, rice, and the likes. These don't provide a lot of employment opportunities. Remember not to Dr. Yumkella in pocket this money come out. Not from UNIDO, but in a Director General, they will influence things then for happen in any country. The establishment of Cambia's Skills Building Training Center to empower women and vulnerable youths in food processing. Over 1,000 participants, they don't benefit from this. this thing, and they don't benefit from it so much. They don't become employers. Employers now, people they employ people, they create employment for other people. They get in companies them. $1,500, $150,000 investment for create the FBC hydroelectric power built, where them build for enhanced education. So FBC engineering, maritime engineering student them, then they able use this facility for understand how it work. So now for education. And also now FBC and Jala University, a pioneer the installation of solar panels where they support the library and the FBC library and the computer library and the general library as well as in Jala. So now they get power day for the first time. The 2011 Youth to Youth program we then create for enhanced youth employment. On nearly 144 participants then they benefit from that. So these are the things the way Yumkella don't do. And the things then this way he don't pioneer for make it happen in the position as the Director General of UNIDO. So one of the things the way really for me, critical for me, where Yumkella failed in, is that he spent nearly 3 years in a salon. They fought for become SLPP flag bearer. Even when he no say, he no will win. The first thing we do, we've been very disappointing, is that he lied about in membership with the party. That was very deceiving. The second thing we do is that he tried to push everybody else aside for make it take over. The mentality we've been getting, the Western mentality. In the West, if you're good at something, you're better educated, you get better background in anything. Everybody we don't do it, even if they don't do it for 20 million years, they don't matter. Would it matter? Now, wouldn't that person they will present a competition? So that mentality we've been carried to Sierra Leone, it been a very big disadvantage because the SLPP is a tribalistic party. We don't look at another way. They look at the person we've been on there for 20 years, people like Mother Biu and others. So that may be a disadvantage to them. And for wasting time for nearly 3 years in precious time for fights na the party, where you know say, even if you win, the culture na that party, they no go help for bring in dreams to light for Saloon. Not being a very, very big mistake, a grave mistake we make, where me personally I not be ever happy with, and I've been condemned in my previous video. But now that this man, he don't grow up, he don't decide say he go form NGC, this is now a very, very big step ahead, where I feel the Sierra Leoneans them for looking to carefully, for see whether this man not the right man for the job. Look at all in the way I mentioned to you about the employment, in track record in education, in track record in employment, in track record in connection, in differences the way they don't make. This man don't meet all world leaders them, all significant world leaders we talk about, with the exception of Donald Trump. You don't meet all of them. In this world we live in today, we live in a globalized world. Globalized world. What this means is that we connected to each other. One thing we do, it help the other person. So the connection where you get is more important past anything else. This man get all the connections where Salon will ever need. This man get all the connections where go transform, if used wisely, go transform Sierra Leone for the better. This man remind me of one of the greatest leaders that we don't ever lead Salon. Dr. Hamad Tijan Kaba. In connection as Salon make sure say the World Bank he waive we debt. In connection as Salon bring the war to an end. Remember that in connection make British soldier then can't die in a Salon and fed for Salon till Salon free. So now the connection that we been get through the World Bank now make Salon the war end. So imagine this man with all this in connection, we don't meet over 80 world leaders them. You don't travel now so many countries them, over 80 countries then at the world, you don't travel. You don't advise experts them, expert in the consultant for advice on developmental projects, on energy development projects, on poverty alleviation, climate change. If you get a man like that, we sit down at the high table, what does that mean for Sierra Leone? While you're at it, I challenge you for compare this man to the other candidates in the race. In the next few weeks, I will talk about, next week, I will present some Madabiu. I'll go to Chas Magai. Then I'll go to my favorite person, Kambarimba. So wait out and listen for it. But for now, let we reflect on this. Let we reflect on what this man get for offer for Sierra Leone. Thank you and have a great day, great evening, great morning, great night. Bye-bye.
Swahili say that question. The second question is about foundation. Let me give an example. I was listening to a debate by the former head of UNIDO, who is a Sierra Leonean and is contesting to the president. And I said to a friend of mine, if this man has these ideas and I was Sierra Leone, I would vote him. He said, Africa can realize our potential. And this idea that Africa has had conflict is misguided. And he gave examples. Vietnam was at war. Cambodia was at war. Laos was at war. The two Koreas were at war in 1953. Japan was bombed to the ground in 1945. Yet they have revived. They went back to the foundation that you talked about. In other words, we know the true north, tunadira. And Mwalimu used to say in Kiswahili, siri ya maendeleo ni watu, ardhi na siasa safi.
We are not the only ones who had conflict. Cambodia had conflict. Vietnam had conflict. In fact, in the 60s and mid-70s, they were referring to Cambodia, Vietnam, Laos, and others as basket cases. They recovered, they transformed, and today, yes, they're self-sufficient in food production. They are major industrial hubs for producing goods and services which are bought by rich OECD countries. What am I saying? None of us are destined to be poor. No nation is destined to have disease, disasters, and death only. It depends on the creativity and the determination